Well, hello. My name is Laurie Peru, and I'm a patient partner involved in a lot of different research projects. I was diagnosed with juvenile idiopathic arthritis when I was 14. So it's really my 30 plus years of experience as a person with lived experience or a patient that I bring to research projects. I've been involved in research projects. I started probably in my 20s, but I really just participated to the degree I could at the time. But I'd say in the last 5 years, I've kind of gotten increasingly involved in a variety of different projects. So I've been involved in identifying research, questions. So sometimes these have been like priority setting exercises. I've also been involved in even data collection. I worked as a peer researcher with a project where I was actually involved in interviewing people. But even if I'm not involved from that perspective, I've been involved in doing some of the interpretation of themes, say from research, or sort of looking at the data from different angles, or at least identifying what those different perspectives might be, sort of from my lived experience, as well as in knowledge translation. So much so that I've done presentations, with researchers at various events, at conferences, writing, plain language summaries as well, and developing videos, as part of integrated KT or knowledge translation through the project. So kind of feel like been involved in a lot of different areas. So I guess I would just say, it may seem intimidating at first, especially as you're starting out and you're, just trying to get accustomed to, research terminology, what a project actually looks like from beginning to end. So to just kind of give it time and give yourself time and try to acquire, and don't be afraid to ask questions. So trying to understand those different elements of a project, and to really see, like I personally feel like patients and people with lived experience can bring a lot to a project. So even though it may not seem evident at first, or it may seem difficult because it might be quite different from, say, what your regular job is, to not be discouraged by that, and to just continue to be curious and ask questions. And if you're afraid that maybe your perspective isn't important, just share it, and you might as well be open and try to see, maybe it is and it's quite relevant at the end of the day. So to just not be discouraged from sort of raising some of those issues, because I realize it can be quite intimidating, especially as you're first trying to sort of contribute your perspectives as a patient. So in terms of, supporting the participation of patients on the team, really, I would say try to meet patients where they are, right? They, often are living with, some sort of health issue or that affects them or their family. And to really just be flexible and have a flexible mindset for, trying to work with them, and may not follow your typical hours, or your traditional ways of doing things. But I think just having that curiosity and willingness really to adapt to whatever they need, because I think it's really important to get those perspectives, to make sure that the research is, answering relevant research questions, that is being designed and disseminated in a way that's relevant to patients and the public. So just trying to be flexible and adaptable, I think, is probably some of the most, critical skills or things that I think the research community can do.